Hello everyone, welcome to the Imprint Explained. And today we're looking at a very different topic that you would understand that in different areas the coronavirus is impacting differently, the economy, right, foreign affairs, and so on. But there's one area that is in our social issues, right, that the coronavirus is impacting, especially the lockdown on women and children, right? So today's topic is basically we're looking at the rise of domestic violence and cases child abuse, right? Okay, so this has been happening, right? Let's try to have a look at that. Let's look at the Hindu newspaper. This is from 8th of April, right? And in this, it talks about that gender violence is now a shadow pandemic, right? UN Chief Antonio Guterres has actually called for a ceasefire on domestic violence. What has happened is the UN has urged, UN Women has urged member states to include prevention of violence against women in their action plan on COVID, and as considered, like, even the shelters which are using for COVID patients, maybe that can also be used. You should all actually make uh, shelters for women, right? Because there are going to be a lot of gender violence cases because of the fact that people now are living together, right? Obviously, because of a lot of unemployment is also going to happen. So there is helplessness, right? Helpline, psychosocial support, online counseling should be boosted using technology based solutions such as SMS, online tools, networks to expand social support and to reach women with no access to uh, phones or internet. And also, police and justice services must mobilize to ensure that high incidents of violence against women and children are given high priority, and there should be no impunity for perpetrators. So, what is the data that UN Women have? So, UN Women say that 243 million women and girls aged between 15 to 49 have been subjected to sexual or physical violence perpetuated by an intimate partner, right, in the previous 12 years. इसका क्या मतलब है? इसका मतलब है कि जो उनके घर में जो उनके साथ लोग रहते हैं वही करते हैं फिजिकल एंड सेक्सुअल वायलेंस, और ये और इंक्रीज होगा, नंबर ये जो बढ़ने वाला है और बढ़ेगा बिकॉज सिक्योरिटी, हेल्थ, मनी वरीज विल हाइटन टेंशंस एंड स्ट्रेन्स, और ऑलरेडी देयर बी गोइंग क्रैम्प्ड, स्पेशली अर्बन एरियाज में काफी क्रैम्प्ड एंड कन्फाइंड लिविंग कंडीशंस है, राइट? स्पेशली लुक एट अर्बन स्लम्स, धारावी एटसेट्रा इन इंडिया, तो वहां तो बहुत ही ज्यादा कम जगह है. सो सपोज करो 6 लोग 8 लोग एक ही जगह रह रहे हैं, पॉसिबल है क्या? क्या टेंशन होंगी? क्या डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस होगा? ऐसी जगह होने का चांस बढ़ जाएगा. So, as per data compiled by UN body, France has seen a 30% increase in domestic violence cases since the lockdown on March 17. In Argentina, domestic what has happened is emergency calls कितना increase हुआ? 25% increase हुआ है since lockdown on March 20th. Cyprus में 30% increase. Even Singapore, we think it's very advanced. 33% increase है calls में. Canada, Germany, Spain, UK, हर जगह increase in domestic violence है, calls हैं, cases ज्यादा आए हैं, and there's a demand for emergency shelter, right? So this has been happening, right? Now let's look at India's response to it. So first, let's look at the suggestions, and this is by Akshaya, Vijaylakshmi, and Pritha. They are faculty members at IIM Ahmedabad, and let's see what they're saying. They're saying in the first week of the lockdown. So they're saying in the first week of the lockdown, one of the 257 complainants, right, was a father from Rajasthan, and he said that during the lockdown his daughter was beaten by her husband and has not been provided food, since the lockdown began, right? So that is a big problem, right? Okay. Now, the literature on domestic violence suggested that men and women, when they get employed, now what happens is domestic violence tends to fall because there is less interaction. So that is the reason people say that, if both people are employed, obviously they'll get less time, so there's a less chance of domestic violence happening. Under a lockdown, interaction time increases, right? And then families have been left without access to the outside world, right? And so what happens is literature suggests that violence is a way for a man to assert his notion of masculinity, right? कि आदमी है तो मारेगा ही. So the current atmosphere of fear, uncertainty, food insecurity, right, unemployment may create feelings of inadequacy in men, right? Because men derive their insecurity from employment, the ability to give food to their family, right? अगर वो नहीं होगा तो how they will think. So होगा क्या? It will aggravate tensions at home, make women victims of those tensions. So there is a lack of access to friends, family, support organizations, and is expected to aggravate this situation for abuse women further. So if we let's say already domestic abuse चल रहा था और लॉकडाउन हो गया तो आई एम श्योर कि बहुत ज्यादा इंक्रीज हो चुका होगा, राइट. सो स्टडीज क्या कहती हैं? स्टडीज कहती हैं कि women are more affected than men by epidemics, राइट. ये हिस्टोरिकल डेटा भी एग्जिस्ट करता है इसके लिए. सो नेशनल फैमिली हेल्थ सर्वे डेटा था, वो क्या कहता है? ये कहता है कि women have faced domestic violence and सेम ही है for 24%, right? There's no reduction in the women facing domestic violence, right? कोई modernization कुछ नहीं हुआ है, सब सेम चल रहा है, right? Compared to survey results, the actual reports of domestic violence to the police are negligible at 58.8 पर लाख. सो हो क्या रहा है? लोग जाते नहीं है. रीजन क्या है? द टेलिंग स्टैटिस्टिक्स इज दैट 52% of women and 42% of men think that at least there is one valid reason for wife beating. And यही attitude जो ingrained है, normalized है, right? The idea is that कि women should not expect support from others, कि मारता है तो कोई बात नहीं. And this is the case with educated women also, right? I can talk about people even living close to us, right? So in a neighborhood, I can actually give examples of very educated people, right? Having very educated female be okay with wife beating. So NHS data also highlights how the proportion of women reporting violence is increasing among families with lower wealth. The lockdown due to the pandemic is leading to a substantial negative income shock for everyone. In our interviews, right, these people, right, so the Ahmedabad professors, they said that women face domestic violence and this coupled with alcoholism. What has happened is the access to alcoholism. So now sharab mil nahi rahi hai. So you would have heard कि केरला में लोगों ने suicide कर ली है because of शराब नहीं मिली. Now what will happen? This frustration will increase, and what will happen is that this would lead to further domestic violence. Now, what can be done? The first thing is we have to acknowledge that domestic violence happens, and that work, obviously, where it will reduce, we have to reduce to basically work to reduce the stigma that victims of violence face. Further, there's a very interesting things they have talked about in the article. They're saying the NCW, that the National Commission on Women, could increase its advertising expenditure on TV to relay messages requesting women to contact the पुलिस स्टेशंस फॉर हेल्प. फिर एक 181 नंबर है, हेल्पलाइन नंबर, ये एक्टिव रहना चाहिए और ये रिमाइंड करवाना चाहिए टीवी पे यूजिंग एड्स. गवर्नमेंट को भी ऑल्सो मास मैसेजेस करने चाहिए एज ऑन द ऑनसेट ऑफ द कोरोना वायरस दैट वुमेन हैव एक्सेस टू एटलीस्ट अ बेसिक फोन. तो एटलीस्ट वो उन लोगों को पता लग जाए कि 181 नंबर पे कॉल कर सकते हैं प्रॉब्लम है. फर्दर आप मॉनिटरी सपोर्ट दीजिए एनजीओ को, राइट, जो इस जगह में काम करते हैं, डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस में काम करते हैं. और आप आशा वर्कर्स पे फोकस ना करिए एंटायरली, आपको एनजीओ सिविल सोसाइटी को साथ में चलना पड़ेगा इसके लिए. अब गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया? सो दिस इज आई थिंक द वीडियो टुडे, जूम वीडियो, राइट, स्मृति ईरानी टॉकिंग टू एवरीबॉडी, राइट. सो the नेशनल कमीशन फॉर वुमेन ने कहा है कि 2-fold इंक्रीज हुआ है डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस एंड सेक्सुअल असॉल्ट में, एंड 3-fold इंक्रीज इन द केसेस ऑफ पुलिस एपैथी इन द फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ सिंस लॉकडाउन. तो हो क्या रहा है? लॉकडाउन हो गया तो पुलिस रिप्लाई भी नहीं कर रही है अगर कोई फोन कर रहा है. तो अब क्या कह रही है मिनिस्ट्री कह रही है कि वन स्टॉप सेंटर्स विच प्रोवाइड लीगल, साइकोलॉजी, सोशल सपोर्ट टू सर्वाइवर्स ऑफ जेंडर बेस्ड वायलेंस को लिंक किया जाए विद लोकल पुलिस. इनको बोल दिया जाए कि कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं होनी चाहिए विद अराउंड नालसा, राइट, कि सर्विसेज आर नॉट इम्पैक्टेड, कि डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस में कोई बंदे को अगर आपने बचाने जाना तो बचाने जाने दिया जाए और पुलिस को खुद जाना चाहिए बचाने. स्मृति ईरानी ने क्या बोला? स्मृति ईरानी बोलती है कि जो वन स्टॉप सेंटर्स टीम्स हैं, राइट, जो बेसिकली हेल्प करती हैं डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस केसेस के लोगों को, राइट, फीमेल्स को, तो उनको निमहैंस को डायरेक्ट लिंकेज दी जाए ताकि साइको सोशल सपोर्ट हो, एक साइकोलॉजिस्ट ऑलवेज हो. देन अंडर लॉकडाउन डिजिटल गवर्नेंस यूज करना टू इंश्योर सेफ्टी ऑफ वुमेन, राइट. एप्स कैन बी made for this. Then further कोई डेफिसिट ना हो तो एनजीओ और स्टेट लेवल को इंफॉर्मेशन चेंज में हमेशा रखना है. और दूसरी इन्होंने बड़ी अच्छी बात की स्मृति ईरानी जी ने, ये कह रही है कि आप एज ए एनजीओ रोज आपको, जिनको पता है कि पुराने परपेचुएटर्स हैं और उनको पहले से ही बोल दिया जाए. आई थिंक आई विल गो अ स्टेप फर्दर. आई से पुलिस को जहां पे भी आपको लगता है कि डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस पहले हो रखा है तो वहां तो पुलिस को जाके चेक करना ही करना है, जस्ट लाइक क्वारंटीन में कोविड के पास करना है, वहां पे भी आप एक बार जाके बात कर लीजिए एज एसएचओ, और कोई हवलदार चले जाए, दैट्स गुड इनफ. अब वुमेन का तो ठीक है, बच्चों का क्या ना? बच्चे का तो इवन वर्स है, बिकॉज अगर सेक्सुअल वायलेंस हो रहा है, कोई अब्यूज हो रहा है, राइट, तो और भी ज्यादा इंक्रीज हो चुका होगा, राइट। सो 1 in 3 कॉल्स है, हेल्पलाइन नंबर है चाइल्ड लाइन का 1098। ये during the nationwide lockdown has sought protection from abuse and sexual violence. Between March 20th and March 21, helpline ने 4.3 lakh calls रिकॉर्ड किए हैं, 50% मोर देन एवरेज। सो 30% रिपोर्टेड इंस्टेंसेस ऑफ अब्यूज एंड वायलेंस या तो फर्स्ट हैंड हुआ है या आप मैंने देखा होते हुए तो मैंने फोन किया, उसकी मदर ने वगैरह ने। सो लॉकडाउन क्या करता है, leaves children confined to their homes, rendering them vulnerable to physical and sexual violence. And a majority of them obviously take place in families. So this is a huge problem, right? So as you can see, women violence against women, violence against children is increasing. Now, further, I am pretty sure the same violence would have increased against disabled people, would have increased against scheduled caste, scheduled tribe people in India, right? And that is expected during a lockdown. So what would I like to do? I think it would be better that now there's a need for a lot of counseling, a lot of messaging needs to happen, maybe even from the Prime Minister. Subscribe and like to our channel. Do comment if you have any suggestions, what can be done. Join our Telegram group for the PDF of this lecture. Right. Thank you so much.